Let's take a trip down memory lane to 2006 when the Nintendo Wii launched, with Wii Sports being the packaged game with the console bundled in to show off the Wii remote. Forward to 2022, we now have the sequel to Wii Sports, and that is Switch Sports. This game has games that wasn't on the original Wii Sports and vice versa. There is games missing that I would love on this that was on this. Let's get into the review. Move, play, smile is the slogan for this game, and it definitely had me doing just that. Having so much fun, swinging my arms around, using my Joy-Cons and just smiling throughout. Switch Sports. Essentially what it comes down to is the sequel that will open the floodgates with all of the nostalgic memories that'll come rushing back from Wii Sports, with its approachable, simple fun for everyone to pick up and play. Your Miis are in attendance as well. The Miis that you created in 2016 on the Nintendo Wii. The first time Nintendo introduced us to these Nintendo avatars, calling them Miis. You can customize your own sports avatar, or just use your Miis for a full nostalgic trip. Now, I actually do quite like the look of the sports avatars. Nintendo really should update their Miis and modernize them and have these instead of the Miis that date back to 2006. Your Miis, if you choose to use them, just look outdated and out of place. Now, speaking of these sports avatars, you can unlock new items and avatar cosmetics by playing online, but you can only do this online, and you do this by being awarded points for playing games online. You'll get so many bonus points. At the end, you'll unlock a new cosmetic item. This is online only against other players around the globe. You won't be awarded anything. No items, no avatar cosmetics, nothing for playing by yourself. It has to be online against other players. Nintendo really punishing us for having no friends, huh? Now, the games on offer here are volleyball, badminton, bowling, football, or soccer, depending on where you are from, chambara, I think I've said that right, and tennis, with golf being added later on. Some games are 1 to 2 players and some are 1 to 4, so get some family and friends at the ready. Most games require the use of one single Joy-Con, and there is 1 or 2 games that will require the use of 2 Joy-Cons. The first game I tried here was volleyball, and I honestly didn't mind it. A lot of people are saying this game isn't great. It's slow and boring with movesets to master to do it right, which it is. There is movesets to master to be able to successfully do this game right, and I honestly did find the movements quite tricky to learn. Even when I thought that I had it nailed down, turns out I didn't. And I still haven't got them down right. I then went and tried badminton, which is fantastic. Using the Joy-Cons, I are tracking perfectly for a more accurate hit on the shuttlecock as you swing your Joy-Con back and forth to hit it with a perfectly timed drop shot, pressing ZR on the Joy-Con. Badminton, tennis, I absolutely love these game modes. My favourite game modes on Switch Sports. Tennis is simple, it's straightforward, it's the tennis we know and love, but badminton, I feel, has a little more magic there. As you get a rhythm going back and forth, doing drop shots, doing overs, doing unders, and just trying to catch each other out. Also hitting it at the perfect time when it's up in the air for a super effective hit. I've loved playing badminton online against players as well. Same goes for tennis. Badminton and tennis have been my go-to game modes online. Now, bowling, a Wii Sports classic. Wii Sports bowling on Switch, and it is pretty much the same glorious game of bowling as it was back then. It's perfect. It was perfect on the Nintendo Wii, and it's still that same perfect game on Switch. The aim of bowling is, well, I don't think I need to explain bowling to you really. Now, the added features, instead of having to wait your turn, you can now all bowl together, side by side, in real time, solo or with a team. You hold the ZR button down as you're holding the ball. You keep holding it down until you do a full swing, and then when you let go of the ball, you let go of the ZR button. Don't release it as you swing, which I kept doing because I thought that felt more natural to me, but apparently not. Bowling is just, honestly, it's a joy to play. It also now features special mode where you'll have to navigate your ball down an obstacle bowling lane to hit the pins at the end as you try and go for the spare, the strike, and just knock as many pins down as you can with these obstacles in your way to navigate around. Not just a simple straightforward lane where you need to line your bowling ball up right. You can also press the Y and B buttons to move left and right as well, to curve your ball, or depending on the Joy-Con you are using, you'll be using the D-pad. Now, football or soccer, depending on where you are from, this will require the use of two Joy-Cons. One Joy-Con to run around the pitch and the other to swing and shoot. No, you don't use your Joy-Con in the leg strap to kick your ball. That's only on penalty shootouts, which I think is a real shame, but apparently Nintendo is going to add that later, where you'll be using the leg strap throughout the whole game if you want to, not just on penalty shootouts. As you run around the pitch holding down ZL to sprint, you will need to keep an eye on your stamina. So choose your moments carefully because your stamina will run out and it will need to recharge before you can use it again. You swing a Joy-Con to kick the ball in the direction that you actually want it to go on screen. That's the direction you would swing the Joy-Con in. Be it left, right, down, up, straight ahead, it will all translate on screen. 1v1 or 4v4 for some online competitive play. And I feel that is what Nintendo was aiming for with this game mode. But for some reason this reminds me of Rocket League. Maybe it's just the big balls. Now, penalty shootout. Penalty shootout is there. I don't know, it works, but I don't think it adds anything to the overall experience. I get what it's trying to be, but I think this just fell completely flat. The ball comes at you when you need to time it right to kick the ball with your leg. It's just something in there that will require you to use a leg strap with the Joy-Con, but that should already be in the main football game anyway. Now, Chambara. This will have you both standing in a ring as you try to knock off your opponent as you swing and slash your sword with 3 different weapons from a sword, charged sword, or twin swords. Single sword with basic blocking, a charged sword with a power level that charges up with successful blocking, and then you can unleash your charged attack by holding down R when you strike. If it's used at the right time, it can be a satisfying attack that will win you the game, knocking your opponent out of the ring. Twin swords will require you to use both Joy-Cons like swords by swinging both of them around at your opponents as you block with one and swing with the other. It is a great game mode and it reminds me somewhat of Wii Boxing, except it isn't Wii Boxing. I think Wii Boxing is still so much better. Just a real shame that Switch Sports doesn't include Wii Boxing. Maybe it might be added later on at some point by Nintendo if they are adding golf to this down the road. Maybe boxing is in the pipeline as well. And also baseball, which was in Wii Sports as well. Let's remain hopeful. Please, Nintendo. Now, tennis. It's Wii Sports Tennis on Switch. It's simple, competitive and fun as it was back then, and now in 2022, Wii Tennis is back, but on the Nintendo Switch. My favourite here out of them all still remains to be tennis. Maybe that's nostalgia talking, but I have always loved the simplicity of Wii Tennis. It's a simple tennis experience that still works with all of the Wii Sports nostalgia rushing back with it. Twist your wrists for different shots on the ball as you hit the ball back and forth with a swing of the Joy-Con, aiming the hit away from your opponent to try and catch them off guard, or the quicker the hits, the faster the ball flies. Now, I really did have fun here. And that is the review. Final thoughts here, Nintendo Switch Sports is great. It really is a nostalgia trip back to Wii Sports in all of its glory. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with this game and I will keep going back to it, especially with its online functionality, playing against players around the world, sending stickers, competitive fun stickers back and forth as you play. I've loved playing with the community on this game. It definitely has a very good, strong community here for online play, and that's what I like to see. I hope at some point in the future Nintendo adds boxing to this. That would be great. They are adding golf in the fall, so I do hope Nintendo flushes this out even more, adds boxing to this, adds baseball to this as well, to really make it the ultimate package. Anyways guys, I'll see you next time.